negative stuff off your credit report. Now, one of the other things I want to talk about that I thought was it just blew my mind was the secret lenders list. You want to bring it up? This margin bring up. The secret lenders list is going to show you basically. So let's say like you apply for a credit card, right? And you get denied. You get denied, and you're like, wait a minute, man, I have a 700 credit score. How did I get denied? Well, certain lenders have certain they have certain things that you have to meet in order to be able to be approved for a credit card. And if you don't know, if you let's say your credit score is 739 and you needed a 740 and they denied you, they would deny you based on one thing. You got to have that. But if you knew that your credit score was 739 and you look on the lenders list, it tells you which lenders will approve your credit based on your score. And then that way you can actually apply for that card, feeling having more security, knowing that you're going to get approved. I don't know how many times I've applied for a credit card and got rejected, not realizing and not knowing that I was going to get denied because, because of the fact that I didn't even know what bank it was that I had already applied for. Sometimes they have some banks that is with banks that you've applied for, but it's under a different name. So, but with this secret lenders list, it gives you the inside scoop. It gives you the advantage of being able to look at that and say, oh, I can apply for that. Okay, cool. So, I mean, that right there can save you thousands of dollars, Let's see here. All right, let's see. Well, so I guess at this point, I'm pretty much went over the generalness of my whole conversation. So, Ms. Smalls, if you want to step in and take it to the next level.
Yes. So hello everyone. This is Denise Smalls again. If you have any questions for Ruben, does anyone have questions about anything that he went over? The secret lenders list that he just showed you, I will be sending that out to you. The email that you registered with. I will send it to that email address. If there is a different email address that you want to send it to, then just let me know. But otherwise, I will be sending that out to everyone. Ruben, you have a question.
Yeah, I got a question. I want to ask any of those out there that.
Wait 1 second. Before you ask a question, you have a question that someone asked you.
Oh, okay.
It's in the chat. Can you see it?
Go where to go to participant?
No, you go to the chat.
Let's see. Okay. Okay, so I said so the reporting date is important than the due date. That's the question from Benita.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, in some respects. And that's kind of like a way of getting people's attention to realize the benefit, because everybody knows their due date. Yeah, I mean, you're going to know what your due date is, but if you don't know what your report date is, then how are you going to be able to take advantage of the secret of knowing, being able to, if you know that you need to have, if you know you went over that percentage that makes the utilization is going higher than what was expected, and you want to get it down. If you don't know what the reporting date is, then they're going to hit you where it hurts at. So
I think on the the assessment, Ruben,
Mhm.
if you look, it says whether it was the due date, which one is more important?
I
The due
said
date?
both.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I just want to
They,
make sure.
they are, and I mean, yeah, they are important. I mean, most people who have credit cards that really are not really indulge in trying to find the keys and secrets and the little things that they won't tell you. You'll more or less say, "Oh, it's a due date," but bringing the attention to the fact that, and it's both of them, but bringing the attention to the fact of the reporting date about how to use that secret or that key to be able to understand that what, all I got to do is if I go over that 9% or I go 50% or whatever, I know on that reporting day I can actually make that payment before the reporting day because I know what it is.
I'm sorry, you was going to ask everyone a question?
Yeah. So my question, everyone, has anyone ever had a negative item on their credit report and they disputed it and they were unsuccessful with being able to get it off? That's what I want to know. And what type of debt was it?
While you guys are putting in those answers, there's another question here for you, Ruben, in the chat. So the question is that Ruben asked you guys, is there anything negative that you had and you couldn't get it removed? And he wanted to know the type. And then the question, Ruben, I don't know if you can see it.
Okay. So from Kate Hunter?
No,
Cat Hunter.
no, this is from Tanya.
Okay. So I went to I clicked on participants.
No, it's on chat. Click on chat.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Says yes. No. Oh, okay. So Benita Thomas said that she actually had a medical debt that was removed, but it was added back. So if you disputed that and it was added back, then chances are what happened is that you disputed, it got taken off with one debt collector, and then time passed by, and then it probably got added back on from a different debt collector. And if you get something removed, from my understanding, and they no, what was it? So critical. Oh, okay. It was a store credit card. Okay. So Cat. Okay. So I'm gonna answer. Wait, that's 3 different people.
And you still have Tanya's question.
Okay. I don't see Tanya's name on him.
Okay, so I can ask you her question. How do we find out the reporting date, please?
Oh, okay. So basically, if you have a credit card and you make payments and you're getting statements, the reporting date is on the statement. It'll be on the statement. Now, what I like to do, because it's going to tell you in the statement what your reporting date is, but a lot of times you may not get. It's real tricky the way they put it on us. So a lot of times it can be kind of confusing. So what I do is, as soon as I get approved for a credit card, before I even get the credit card, I just simply call them and ask them, "Hey, what is going to be my reporting date?" You know, and if you got from one credit card to how many of the credit cards you feel like you can handle or you need, you can actually make sure you write that down and keep track of that. Always be a student on being able to remember that. Okay. Okay. So this is from Benita. She said I had a medical debt, but they put it back on there. So yeah, Benita. So like I said before, if what happened to you, if you disputed it, okay, did you dispute it? Why did it come off? Did you dispute it, or it was taken off because you because of the statute of limitation after 7 years? But in general, if you disputed it and they put it back on there, they're not supposed to do that. If they did that, they're breaking the law, and you can sue them for that. I'm not an attorney. I don't know all the details, but that is because that actually happened to me. And a lot of times, what they think they slick. What they'll do is they'll take it off, and you'll be so happy and glad that you will forget about who that debt collector was. And then 7, 8 months down the line, they put it back on there, and then you try to remember, hey, did I dispute this? You know? But no, they're not supposed to do that. If they put it back on there, then you need to continue to dispute it, and you need to stay on them too. Okay, so it's still good. Okay, so I'm looking at Selena's question. She says, no, it was a store credit card, but the store closed. I was younger and irresponsible, but I know the card had a zero balance. So are you saying that they're saying that you owed money, or it was something that was in your credit report?
I think that went back to your question about anything negative on your credit report.
Okay. Okay. So you disputed it, and hopefully, and did it come off when you disputed it, Selena? Oh, okay. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Just keep in mind, sometimes if you've had a lot of negative stuff in your credit report, a lot of times when they see that you are starting to get your life together and get your finances together and you're doing good, there are other accounts sometimes that you don't even know about from years ago that they will try to bring up, and you be wondering where that came from, and it may be your account. But let me. Just one thing I want to tell all of y'all, and I want y'all to listen to me very carefully. If you don't remember anything else I said, remember this. If you get a debt, now I'm talking about medical debt. If you get any medical debt that they put on your credit report, and it has went to a third-party debt collector, by law, you are not obligated to pay that debt. Why? Well, for one, number one is because the original creditor, when it reaches a third-party debt collector, what they've said, they've washed their hands of it, saying, you know what, this person, for whatever reason, we're not going to get our money. They're not going to pay us back. Let's sell it. So they sold it. So why would you owe a debt based on somebody that sold it? They didn't say, you know what the heck with, I'm not gonna go after this person. I'm not gonna go for the money. They've done that. So why then, when a third-party debt collector, someone who is just trying to intimidate you, put you in a position that they try to, scare you or trick you or make you feel like, you got to pay this. It's a bunch of bull. I'm telling you. So you're not legally obligated to do that. And if you ever get a debt collector that calls you, you can always say, hey, please do not call my house anymore. If you want to contact me, you can reach me through sending me letters in writing. And then that way you can dispute it that way. That's the best way to handle it. And that protects you more, when you do that. Now, when it comes to credit cards, be very, very, very careful. I would not recommend that you dispute credit cards. First of all, don't if it's still with the original creditor and they come at you, I highly recommend that you pay it. If it reaches a third party debt collector, you have to find out the statute of limitation of that particular state in which they have the legal right to file a lawsuit against you. It's like for Florida, it's 5 years. So if you owe a credit card, and this is also with medical too, but if you owe money on a credit card and it's been 5 years, then legally you're not obligated to pay it. Legally they can't sue you, so you don't have to pay it. And you know, like I said before, you can dispute that and get that taken off.
So Ruben, can I ask you a question? Going back to the medical debt, is one of the reasons why you say don't pay to a third party, does that have anything to do with HIPAA?
Yes and no. But Ms. Smalls, before I answer that question, I'm looking at Tanya. She said, does it also apply for student loans? Yes, it also applies to student loans. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. Yeah, it applies to student loans too, but you know, because this is just a general overview of credit, you would have to do your research. I would recommend, you can write this down. There's a YouTuber. His name is Brandon Weaver. I don't know if you guys may know him. His name is Brandon Weaver. Just put his name in and type in, you know, how to dispute student loans. You know, I mean, you can do it with student loans. You can do it with, there's a lot of stuff you can do with. So much information with that. I'm sorry, Ms. Smalls, what were you saying now about the
You could always put Brandon Weaver's name in the chat so people can see his name. But
Oh, okay.
my question was about medical, and you were saying about the third party, and I was just asking, is it because of HIPAA?
No, it's not because of HIPAA, but you can use HIPAA as an extra reinforcement that will definitely shut them down. So let's say in the beginning, let's say for example, it's like with a medical debt. This is what they'll try to do. If you send a letter disputing it, they're gonna respond back, and they're gonna pretend like you still owe the debt. And what they're gonna send you is they're gonna send you the bill, and it's gonna have, you know, saying, yeah, you owe this debt. This is the bill. Yeah, you owe it. And 9 times out of 10, the person ain't gonna know no better. They're gonna be like saying, like, oh man, I thought it was gonna take it off, you know, but I gotta pay it. No, you don't have to pay it. You send another letter reinforcing what you said the first time, and then that letter needs to be even more stern, because you're gonna win, you're gonna get it taken off. Now, if you dispute the second time and they send you a letter showing medical codes, showing the dates and times, and you know, your social security number and medical codes about like what type of examinations that you got, then they really asking for big trouble, because that's where HIPAA comes in at. And when you respond back to them saying they violated your rights, because they're not supposed to have access to the information. And one of the biggest reasons before you even get into HIPAA, talking about with saying why you don't even owe the medical debt once it reaches a third party debt collector, is because, I mean, not because of the fact that the creditor washed their hands of it, and then the debt collector comes along trying to sucker you in and make you think you're supposed to pay it, but because of the fact that the biggest one is that you don't have a contract, you don't have a written agreement with them. There's nothing that's signed, that you sign, any tape recording, any audio recording, saying that you have a contract showing that you have to legally pay them, right? They don't have that. And if you write a letter saying, hey, can you please send me something with my signature on it saying that I owe this, they're not going to be able to produce it. So what I mean by them being nasty, sneaky, and slick, someone respond back saying that you saying, no, you still owe this debt because you got because we got the medical codes. The day you went to the doctor, your social security number, if they send you that, I would get in contact with an attorney, because at that point you can file a lawsuit against them. So 9 times out of 10, when you send them that HIPAA letter saying that they violated your rights because they did not send you a release saying that they're authorized to have that type of information, they're asking for trouble. So you'll definitely be able to get out of that. And of course, that's going to boost up the credit score once you get it all taken care of. Did I answer your question, Ms. Moore?
Yes, thank you. Are there any more questions that anyone has for Ruben?